Welcome everybody, and thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be doing some applique. I'm going to be going through a couple tips that have helped me get better results from applique, because I can't say I'm the biggest fan of it. A lot of work, haven't done it often, and I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's not worth it. I don't know about you guys. These are a few things that I'll be using for today's project, on top of a heat press or an iron, of course. We have your sweatshirt. We're using a Gildan sweatshirt. I believe it's called the G18000 or 1800. Your fabric, today we're gonna be going with a classic Mickey applique. You're gonna need your heat and bond to give structure to your fabric and make it flatter on the sweatshirt so it's not all bumpy and it's smooth. And of course, some scissors. Now let me walk over to my chair and we'll get into the digitizing. So here we have a pretty basic design. You've probably seen it a million times, but it works well for what we're going over today. What I did was actually digitized the outline. There are some applique fonts that I've seen, as well as some applique somewhere here, as well as some applique options, but I've never messed with them. I pretty much just do it manually, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're working with an 8.4 design, 8.4 inches in width. So the easiest thing you would think to do is you have your outline, your first outline. So it'll let you know where you're gonna place your fabric. Let's copy and paste that, change it to black. And so the first one, just the outline, you throw the fabric on top of that, and then it'll do this outline, pull it out once more, and this is where you'll do cutting into the fabric, and then go in, copy and paste one last time for the final result. Now you would think, here's where I've fallen victim of applique. You would think you have your outline right in the middle, so if you copy and paste and now you have your satin, it should cover everything because you just did an outline underneath it. So the wider satin should cover. Wrong. Very wrong. What you'll get is some of these angles. Maybe you'll get the line here, the outline, and then the outline will stick way out here. It doesn't matter how thick. I guess it could matter if you make it really, really thick, the satin, but from what I've tried out, you still get some crazy lines out here. So what you want to do is go in there. First of all, let's go to colors. I will delete the second one because we're going to be editing the first one here. What you would want to do is bring these in. I'm talking about like exaggerated in. It'll be fine, I promise. Okay, I changed the second one to brown, and here's how it's going to stitch out. It's going to do the first tack down stitch. We'll lay down the fabric, and then it's going to do the second tack down stitch. We'll cut the fabric, and finally it'll do the satin, and we'll be done, hopefully. Here we have the fabric that we're going to be using. So it's going to be about 8.5 and like 4 inches. So we got a little bit extra to play with. Not a huge design. I even had to stretch the font. I realized the font was going to be like this tiny, so I just stretched it out this way. And hopefully it doesn't look funny on the sweater. We are using a small sweatshirt. If not, then we would have to really make the design bigger or re-digitize it so where it makes sense and we're not just stretching them out. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be applying this rough side. It has the rough side and then it has a paper side. We're going to be applying the rough side onto here using an iron that is busted up and broken, and then we're going to peel this paper side and place it on top of the sweatshirt when it's time. Okay, I have my iron 4 out of 6, so medium heat, medium to high. All right, that has stuck to the fabric, as you can tell. Now, it won't have any creases or wrinkles up. It's gonna lay flat and nicely on the sweater. Okay, another quick change, I'm actually gonna be making it even bigger and be using this hoop. The size that I had cut out just seems way too tiny. It's gonna look comical. It's gonna be like this. Mama's gonna be like this. It's gonna be a waste of a sweatshirt. We're not doing this one for anybody, but still, like, Tanya can still wear it if it looks clean. So we're gonna go with 11 inches, and then it'll be like 5 inches top to bottom. So that should look better than the other way. So I got my larger than usual roll of stabilizer here. The one that I usually use is a 2.5. This one feels a little bit more thin. It's even a little see-through. It's gotta be like 2 ounces or 1.5. I'm not sure. I don't use it much. I've had it for a long time. I use it because this hoop is huge, and the one that I usually use is much shorter, so it won't cover the whole area. It's not very dense, so I don't care that it's not as thick, and I won't be using 2 sheets, which you could also do. For this design, I'm doing 3 fingers down from the neck. Usually a design is 4 fingers down, but for this one that goes across the whole chest almost and a little bit lower, I think 3 fingers is good. And if it doesn't look good, at least you guys could use me as an example of why it doesn't. And then you could do 4 fingers or whatever you like. Here we go. Here we have the 3 colors that we put first. The first tack down will go with the white. We'll put a pause. There's gonna be a pause on the second one as well. And we'll do a beige, both light colors, so they won't stand out. And the final one will go with black. Load that up. Here I am, centered in the middle and the top of the tape there. We're gonna go ahead and do a trace. Oh, that's too high. I did lower it because I hooped it too high up and it was hitting on the curve here, so I did have to lower it. So it ended up being about the 4 fingers. Anyways, let's go ahead and run this. First, we're gonna get that tack down stitch in white. It's about to finish doing the first stitch out here. It's done. I could already see I should have done the letters thicker because Mickey's face is gonna be all over it. I think you'll still be able to tell that it's Mickey, but most of his faces are gonna be chopped off, I think. Also, if this was like, let's say, a huge circle, you sometimes need to hold it down with a stick so that even though you have the heat and bond, it prevents the fabric from bunching up or lifting and leaving a bubble. I don't think we'll have an issue with that because everything's pretty thin. So we're just gonna go ahead and set that on there. Make sure it's flat and run the second. Here's the second tip I have for you as well. Let's see if you can get to actually see. A lot of the times people use the curved scissors to try to get as close as possible to the stitching. I say just cut into the stitching if it's possible. Like, the closer the better. Even if you cut into the actual first tack down, it doesn't matter. Like, both sides are gonna get covered by the satin. So I say, just to be safe, on top of changing the digitizing, just cut real close. So that's what I'll be doing, and then I'll show you guys how it looks. It's 2 in the morning. I got the M down. It's looking good, but I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, we're back at it today, fresh, and we finished cutting the fabric of the project here for today. A couple things. Well, one thing mainly. The heat and bond has this paper side to it that I showed, and I didn't take it off. So pretty much after you press this onto the fabric, then you peel this plastic. So then you could press the whole sweatshirt, and it'll stick even more onto the sweater. I forgot to take off the plastic, so it's in there, but it doesn't really matter. It actually made it even easier to cut with the scissors. It made it a little bit more sturdy. And here we have the cutting skill. See here? Completely cut the stitching. There are some parts where there's some extra sticking out, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm telling you, should be fine. I just turned the machine back on. It just pretty much continues where we left off. So let's go ahead and get to it with the final black satin outline. Final results, here it is. Everything looks clean, crispy. On the digitizing, I messed up right here. See, there's a little bit popping out, not much, but a little fabric popping out. Instead of moving the stitching down, I moved it up, but still, even then, not bad. Here it is. It looks like a cow print from here, but well, there's a little bit of Mickey there. This is mouth. You know, so of course making the font thicker would have been better, but not too bad. I just found out it's my sister's birthday today and she loves Mickey, so guess what she's getting. I think most people would agree applique could be pretty tedious, so I just wanted to point out a couple things that I do to make it a little bit better, at least so you don't have to retry the same project or waste anything because of bad registration or something coming out funky. Because applique, not my favorite, but when you do it right, it is a very nice and clean look. So hopefully this helped out somebody. And that's about it for this one. I have been wanting to do some more hat videos, but the Tajima, I still have that issue that I pointed out some time ago, where I get this like rumbling when the hat twists in like certain directions. It's like a bunch of vibration. It makes like a rumbling noise, like it's hitting, I don't know, like it's rubbing on something, and it's been annoying me. I've been trying to figure out what it is. Gonna have to put in a ticket, get in contact with the tech and see what they say, see if they have to come down here, check it out, or if they could tell me through the phone or something, maybe some suggestions. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys, and deuces.